Why are millions of Americans allowing fear to be a hindrance to them capitalizing on the biggest business opportunity of their lives?
Doors closing.
You know, honestly, it's kind of depressing to watch, man. To realize that we're surrounded by so many people who are so out of touch with what's going on. And, you know, people are, without solicitation, pushing fear tactics and the stay home agenda, the propaganda of stay home. They just want you to stay home. Have you not noticed that every few months there's a new, like, almost like a paradigm shift? Like, everybody just goes to one direction. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a free thinker, you find yourself going against the flow, the direction of the flow, quite often. You know, and there's always a wave. I think social media kind of shows that a little bit. Like that, you had MySpace, and you had Facebook. Then people jumped to Snapchat. Then the people jumped to Instagram. Now people doing TikTok. I mean, it's like whatever new wave there is, people just go with that agenda, you know. And for a long time, when Hillary Clinton was trying to run for president, they had the lean in or I'm with her movement or whatever and stuff like that. You know, kind of pushing this narrative that women don't get enough free rights and things like that. And you know, even though, I mean, there's been so many women that made so much history, they can just pick one little topic and one little slogan and get people to just mindlessly follow that. And they really good at it. And now they got the stay home agenda going, and that's what everybody is pushing. And like I said, without solicitation, you just got random people, business owners. I mean, these are people who are business owners who they would come out better if they were able to get out and make more personal relationships and mingle and rub shoulders and things of that nature. I mean, just think about it. The world has been shut down for over 6 weeks now. See, that's another thing I was kind of dealing with, because before they started pushing the racism narrative that the COVID-19 was killing mostly black people, people were clamoring to get out. They couldn't wait to get out. You've seen all different types of posts. Oh, when I get out, I'm going everywhere. Or when I get out, you know, you can invite me everywhere, I'm coming. Or when I get out, I'm going to this island. And when I get out, I'm doing this type of vacation. And when I'm able to get out of the house, I'm going to achieve everything that I ever said I wanted to do, that I procrastinate. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to get out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then they just throw out that racism narrative. And now nobody wants to go out anymore. Nobody wants to go out anymore. You know, it's just funny. And you know what? I wonder why they didn't push the narrative that 32% of the cases in New York were diabetic. People with diabetes. Why didn't they tell us that 94% of the people in those cases had underlying health issues? Why didn't they push that narrative? Why did they choose the black narrative? Why did they say that? Why did they put that out there? Have you always noticed they find a point of keeping us divided? Every chance they get, they find a point of keeping us divided. If you will build up your immune system, stop trying to live this lazy life that says, I don't like this type of food, or I only like this type of food. You need to be responsible now, because it's becoming a hindrance to you prospering in your business. That's what's going on here. You can't honestly say with a clear conscience that you don't feel like staying in the house is hindering your business to some capacity. You can't say that with a clear conscience. Things just flow better when you can become personal and look your customer or your prospective buyer in the eye. When you can see their facility, when they can see your facility and how things work. All this virtual stuff, it's not personal. And it's natural for a man on the inside to want to be free. See, it's one thing when, you know, it's my right whether or not I want to go or whether or not I want to stay in the house. But when you tell me that I can't do it, we all been there before. We all been kids. When you tell me I can't do something, that makes me want to do it. And we are Americans. You can't tell me as an American what I can and can't do.
Hell yes.
This is not Yugoslavia or North Korea or, places in East Africa. This is America. You can't tell us what to do. And it's within every human. God put it within every human to want to be free. That's why you yearn for Jesus Christ. That's why you can't get fulfillment in your life, because you really yearn for freedom that only Jesus Christ can bring. That's a natural thing, to want to be free. You keep something locked up, it's going to affect that person. It's going to scar that person mentally. The same thing presents itself here. And I can't understand. I question, how is it that so many people are grabbing their ankles and just taking this? Why is it that you do not desire to be free? What is it? What's going on? Are you that much of a sheep? Have they brainwashed you that much? Have they really brainwashed you that much? The answer is yes. The answer to the question is yes. But I think you should ask yourself personally, why is it that you're okay with being told by the government, who has not given you any rights, has not given you any unalienable rights? Did I say that word right?
I don't think so.
Maybe it's inalienable rights. Trying to sound all philosophical. Y'all know what I'm saying.
So he's an idiot.
The government has not given you anything or any rights. But you gonna let them take it away and you just gonna stand there and watch? You don't have any problem with being told you can't leave your home? You don't have any problem with them pushing an agenda on you, telling you that if you go outside, there's a 2% chance you die, so you should be afraid? I'm taking my chances with 2% as a young man who works out most days and eats well. So I'll take my chances with my 2%. I know how to wash my hands. I know how to take... They telling you that as an American, you are not responsible enough to take the proper precautions to take care of yourself. So what we need to do, we need to tell you, you can't leave. But oh yeah, you can go to Walmart though. You can go to Walmart. Don't worry about that. Yeah, sure. Go ahead on down to Walmart. Go to the auto parts store. It's okay. That's fine. Yes, you can go to a gas station. Yes, you can go to a gas station, even though there's a 100% chance nobody is out there on a consistent basis wiping off the pumps. They telling you that you are not responsible enough or not smart enough to be able to practice the proper precautions, like 6 feet of social distancing. And wearing gloves if necessary, wearing a mask if necessary, or washing your hands. They don't think that you don't have that capacity, that brain capacity. So what we need to do, we need to take your rights away. We need to infringe upon your God-given right to tell you that you can't leave your home. You don't hear that? You don't see the way that this is playing out before you? How can you miss it? How can you miss it, America? How can you miss it? How can you miss it, small business owners? How can you miss this? How can you not see this? You should be ashamed of yourselves. You don't have the discernment to see when your rights are being infringed upon, because this is not a health issue. This is not a health issue. You know it's not a health issue. There's been doctor upon doctor upon doctor upon doctor that says, I've seen where they are inflating the numbers and they are cooking the numbers and they are attributing deaths and sicknesses to the COVID-19 virus, where a person has not even been tested and a person has not even tested positive. And we don't even really know if it's the COVID-19, but they telling you that's exactly what's happening at a lot of these hospitals. And if you don't believe it, you need to check your research, and you need to do your research. That's absolutely happening. The numbers are cooked. This is a weak virus. They're not telling you the truth about this virus. If you look at the other places, even the places that it originated from, these people are starting to get back to business as usual. But they're telling you, as an American, a person who was born in the freest country in the land, on this whole earth, no other country has ever had the God-given rights that we have. To the degree that we have. No, America is not perfect, and yes, we abuse our power sometimes, but we don't abuse it as much as other countries. Nobody could say with a clear conscience that America is not the greatest, most freest country in the world. Yes, we have a corrupt government, but why does everybody want to come to America? That's about to change if we continue to let them slowly seep socialism into our country. And I can't believe you small business owners are taking it, grabbing your ankles. I can't believe the rest of you patriots and you so-called Americans are taking it, grabbing the ankles. How much Vaseline do you need? Come on, give them the Vaseline. Bring it on. Come on. KY jelly, bring it on. So what I'm talking about, I can't believe it. Grown individuals with children. You got a whole posterity. Some of you have grandchildren and you laying down, taking it at the knees. At the ankles, grabbing your ankles. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourselves, and you're going to have to explain this to your posterity in 30 years if you let it continue. Because they continue, if you see they kicking the can down the road, it was supposed to be 2 weeks at first. It's supposed to be 2 weeks, and at the end of the day, we still have a 98% survival rate. Regardless if the virus is real or not, people are getting the virus. That's a true thing. It's a real virus, but it's not nearly as deadly as people are. And it's very manageable. It's very manageable. And they said it was supposed to be 2 weeks at first. That turned into 30 days. 30 days. We cleared it it's about 6 to 8 weeks now. And then we hearing more states saying that they ain't opening up to the end of May. So when they go, can you not see how they trying to manipulate the election? Do you not see this? It's all because at the same time they pushing that narrative of the vote being in the house. Yeah, let's just vote at home. Let's just vote at home. Because some of those, that's where the lazy liberals are. The people who weren't going to get out and vote anyway, they were just going to be keyboard warriors. But now they're giving them the opportunity, okay, I'll vote since I can do it right here in my home. This is what they want to do. But I still think they're going to lose by a landslide. I still think they're going to lose. Trump is going to take it again. I still think they're going to lose by a landslide because you're corrupt and everything is coming out. Let me stop because I already got pissed off already, man. I'm Isaiah Gates, and you've been watching the Subway Train, the modern Underground Railroad.
Doors closing.